Well, what a crazy adventure we've had so far, but it's not over yet. In fact, I think today might be even better, hoping to see all sorts of different marine life. Now, we've been traveling around to different islands and we will be continuing to do that, but today we are snorkeling around an island known as San Cristobal, and just next to it is a little cluster or a little islet known as Lobos, and that is where we will be today. We will specifically be looking for all sorts of different marine life, obviously being under the water. But one thing that Franklin has told us is here are Galapagos sea lions. And here they are. Look at that. Oh, this is incredible. Look at how close they're getting. Look at the sea lion coming to investigate a little bit. Trying to figure out what we are, what's going on. Now, these guys are pretty special. They are unique to the Galapagos Islands. They do also breed and reproduce on another island just off the coast of Ecuador, but it's a very small population. So majority of them are here in the Galapagos, and the youngsters are extremely curious. So they're coming up to us, looking at the cameras, looking at us, trying to figure out whether we are safe to play with or not. I don't think that we are. I should hope that they don't think so, although it is incredible that they come up this close and come to investigate. And they do love blowing bubbles. But they move through the water so easily and so fluidly. It's just incredible to witness. And these sea lions are still pretty small, believe it or not. They're not adults yet. They're almost adults. But Galapagos sea lions can live for, on average, about 15 to 20 years in the wild. So these guys are probably around maybe 4 years old or so. And so they're still very inquisitive, trying to figure out things. But that does mean that they are going to get a lot bigger. These islands are such a host for all sorts of different marine life, from fish and jellyfish to crabs and sea turtles. Now this is a green turtle, my first turtle that I've ever seen. I mean, how incredible to see a turtle in the Galapagos. And it's fairly common to see them, but one of the only nesting species of turtle in the Galapagos, which is incredible. And of course, many beautiful species of fish, including these yellowtail surgeonfish. And we've seen a lot of them while we've been snorkeling around here. Often in big schools as well. And of course some parrotfish coming through to munch on the coral. And then there's a whole bunch of different types of very small fish that are very fast and hard to identify. But most of them are a type of blenny species. Oh, and look, you can see them all together here. Ooh, parrotfish got a taste of its own medicine there, I think. It's just so magical beneath the waves. And unless you take the leap and dive under, you will never know exactly what these oceans hold. The sea lions, of course, are giving us a lot of entertainment. I wonder what they must be thinking. I wonder if they think that we are friends or what's going on inside their head. I love the bubble block. They have the ability to dive down up to 600 meters below the surface. I mean, that's more than half a kilometer, which is wild. And they can stay below water for up to about 10 minutes. They can hold their breath. I wish I could do that. I would stay under here for ages. But it's just so special to be able to witness these animals in their natural environment and not just lying on a beach somewhere like you would often see them, but actually see how they interact with one another below the surface of the water. And especially because they are quite an endangered species, it's something that you won't get to see almost anywhere else. Awesome!
You got some good footage, right?
I hope so. I really loved spending time with those sea lions, but there's more to see than just what's below the surface of the ocean. Every island here in the Galapagos is unique in some way, so I would be very excited to see what's next on San Cristobal. San Cristobal has its own unique history and biodiversity. It's believed to be one of the oldest islands here in the Galapagos, ranging between, they estimate, 2.4 to 4 million years old. And it's in fact the very first island where Darwin ever came ashore in about 1835. All of these islands were formed through volcanic activity over millions and millions of years. And it's basically because these islands are situated on the Nazca tectonic plate, which then, as it moves, creates the volcanic activity below the surface of the ocean, and over these millions of years then created layers of lava and ash that eventually rose above the ocean surface. So everything that we can see here is all compressed ash. Everything that we're walking on, and in fact my feet are actually sinking in some spots where the ash is still a little bit soft. Just mind-blowing. Well, it's a bit of a steep climb to the top, but the view is so worth it. Oh my goodness, it's spectacular from up here. But San Cristobal is not only known for its spectacular views and rich history, it's also known as a nesting site for both red-footed and blue-footed boobies. Just as their name suggests, they are incredibly unique birds. Obviously the colours are a little bit different to a lot of the seabirds out here. Very dark back, very white belly, and a light eye, but of course those bright, bright blue feet. Boobies lack something that other birds have, which is known as a brood patch. It's basically a patch of completely featherless skin that sits just under the belly. So when a bird is incubating its eggs come into contact directly with its body heat because they come into contact with the skin. Feathers generally prevent the eggs from being incubated effectively because although they are insulating, which keeps the body heat in, it means that if they sit on top of the eggs, they aren't able to directly get enough heat from the incubating bird itself. And so the boobies actually use their feet to incubate their eggs. How fascinating! And the name booby actually derives from the Spanish word bobo, which means foolish or clown-like, because they weren't afraid of people, and so they used to peck and snap at passers-by. But because they lacked such a fear of humans, it made them really easy to catch. And of course, these explorers were on these islands for months, if not years at a time. And so they had to eat something when they couldn't get supplies. And of course, blue-footed boobies are quite abundant on these islands. The rainy season on the Galapagos is normally between about January to May, but Franklin was telling us that it can be anywhere between a few months of rain to a couple of weeks of rain every year. It's very inaccurate. You can't predict it really. And currently the Galapagos is going through a type of drought. It's actually the driest it's been in about 10 years, he tells us, which is why everything around us is quite dry and brown and a little bit barren. But in the rainy season, all of these islands generally are bright green and filled with a lot of different colourful plants and flowers. However, looking around here, there's so many pops of colour that it is still just as stunning. Oh, what a day. It's been just fantastic, from swimming and snorkeling with sea lions and green turtles and all of this different marine life, to then being able to explore one of the oldest islands to exist in this archipelago. It's just been so overwhelming in the best way possible, and I cannot wait to see what the next place has in store for us.